This one prayer to test it. And once that one can happen, you know this place can be a lot of things to many people. Look at it, a workshop. Some people will turn it to warehouse. If you don't use it, people will use it for warehouse. This fantastic structure. Look at the thing, no, it doesn't even change the aluminum. You guys want to make it like a drainage. So how do you get it? You still fix stuff here. These ones are the I said you still brought this one. Don't put it.
And to let you know, like I said at the beginning, is a continuation of our effort to dimension the national assets, one of the most precious national assets in this country, and then to look at how all this fits into our revitalization agenda, that is the Renew Hope agenda, to get railway back to its rightful place in the mobility sector and in the Nigerian economy. We are here in Port Harcourt in continuation of the national tour, and this is the beginning of our tour through the Eastern Corridor that spans from Port Harcourt down to Maiduguri, and at the same time Port Harcourt to meet the central line around Warri that goes through Itape. So our own definition of Eastern, Western, Southern may not conform with the geopolitical zones, so don't get it confused. Now, the Eastern Corridor is so critical and important in the sense that it links also to the Western Corridor when you consider extension to the port, and then you can link the two ports by water, that is going through the integrated multimodal system. The Port Harcourt, Aba, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Port Harcourt, Lafia, Port Harcourt, all through to Maiduguri corridor is also critical because around Enugu you have a lot of the coal mineral that moves into the port in those days. So what we have come to examine is the extent of the narrow gauge construction that is ongoing, currently running now up to Aba, which hopefully the run to Enugu will be in top gear very soon, and also to see the potentials that are with our assets, and that's why we went to the running sheds and the mechanical workshops. And from what you can see there sits a huge asset waiting to be tapped. There are a lot of potentials in there that we will make sure we bring to fruition. We have also been to the clinic. The clinic is not really a hospital, it's a primary health care center, and we discover a lot of pressure on that clinic because not only is the railway clinic serving railway staff, it's also serving the entire community around this area. So we have picked that. It's going to be the clinic of choice for us to fix. Not because it serves railway staffs alone, but because we see that the community will be critical to our own survival. As we go on our revitalization project, we also believe that our workforce and the value chains around our workforce, which the hospital will serve, will be critical. So we'll be making presentation to relevant government authorities too. We'll be contacting members of the National Assembly. We'll also extend to members of the State Assembly when they resume, and we also extend to the other agencies of government, Ministry of Health, why there must be a special interest in that railway clinic for this community. We also evaluated the rehabilitation of some of the coaches. I believe we can do better in those areas. So we are going to do more work. We are not going to deploy them in the state they are. We're going to further work on them, polish them, paint them, make them safety compliant. And we'll now address the workers to know their own complaints. That's as it has to do with their welfare. Their welfare will also be key to the revitalization. So we're also on this project of reeling with the states. So we're also going to continue the inspection to evaluate how the Rivers State government can key into the reeling with the states. The narrow gauge tracks passes through Port Harcourt to Aba. The state government can also participate, not just Nigerian Railway running the rail from Port Harcourt to Aba. The people that are going to be enjoying the service are from Rivers State, they are from Abia State and Ebonyi and the rest. And it might interest you that the people that patronize the Warri Itakwe also come from Bayelsa. A huge number come from Bayelsa on their way to Abuja. So we will be looking at that potentials and we will also make recommendation. Plateau State has started rail on the plateau, and we'll see what Rivers State government will come out with. And when we move on from here tomorrow, we will be in Aba, and we also examine what goes on the coaches, what goes on the train. We are also going to witness the return of the train from Aba today here and speak to some of the passengers to know what they feel. But more importantly, I will tell you, customer service is key. You will recall some few weeks ago, we stopped this line too for some reasons, and if there is a need to stop the line to get the best out of it, we will not hesitate. But we will not stop it beyond any time that will be injurious. From what we have seen, it's like the tracks are in good shape. They can even take much more load than we currently put in. We also appeal to people from the private sector. If you have the capacity to run services on this track, you have your own, you can invest in coaches, locomotives. The Aba route is very, very profitable, especially for carriages, for people who move. There are tailors, there are businessmen and women who wakes up in Port Harcourt, end up in Aba in the afternoon, buy their materials, get back to Port Harcourt, and you just discover all these suit materials. I'm not going to mention them. I know a former minister who said when he was a student at the University of Guinea, they use these services. Where they move it. I don't see challenges.
May I just...
No, you completed.
No, he has not done. He's not done with the process. Just challenges with the Aba, Port Harcourt Aba line. And then you mentioned Enugu. So I want to know what's the timeline, because I know the Port Harcourt Aba road took quite some time to come on board. So what's the timeline for Aba Enugu? And then after that, what's the next step?
Yeah, I said, fortunately for me, I don't see challenges. I don't see problems. I look at the opportunities around the issues. So for us, it is the opportunities for business, for trade facilitation that bothers us most. So whatever obstacles will prevent us from those opportunities, we will take them out. Now, what you have from Port Harcourt to Aba are opportunities. The train is working. The tracks are okay. The tracks are completed. Businessmen, traders are committing on a daily basis. What they need more is more train services. More train services. And that's why you see behind me, there are some coaches we are trying to put together, about one business class or two business classes, two other classes we are planning to join, so that a particular unit now, so that we can pick more people. We are also planning to add additional carriage coach to it, so that they can move their goods. Moving towards Enugu creates more opportunities, in the sense that we now extend the business, trade facilitation, revitalization opportunities. So what on the terms of timeline, you don't give timeline in this kind of project. I'm not the one constructing the line, but I know that timelines are not the issue. Timeline is dependent on funding. If you have the funding, if you have all the funding for the corridor today, you won't finish it in 3 years. So the timeline is not less than 3 years. But if you have the funding, you pick it in phases. And that's why I told you, the next phase is to move to Enugu. The contract is already awarded. Long time. The contract was awarded as a single contract. Then the next line is to move to One to get to the port so that I can now connect the port. And as far as you get to Enugu, if the line is not yet completed, traders, businessmen, logistics people will continue their business by road. But at least they've passed a major part of the issue. So I think that answers your question.
Thank you, sir.
Now, sorry.
Give us your name.
Okay, sir, I have one question. Now, your predecessor did work and stopped, and then you have taken over to continue from where he stopped.
I said, what you need here are more rolling stocks. When we get more rolling stock, which we have already ordered for, you will not dispense of the ones you have. It's just like you have 3 cars and very, very fortunate, and you buy a new one. You don't throw the remaining 2, 1, or 3 away. If you're a businessman, you just repurpose them. So we'll continue to repurpose. There is nothing to say one is dead in railway. All these wagons, all these coaches can last 50 years if they are properly used and maintained. What we are saying is that we'll use them, we'll maintain them to a point they have used their shelf life. That is, they are no longer usable. But as long as they are usable and Nigerians are desirous to use them, there is a market for them, we'll continue to use them. Sometimes it may bring down the cost.
But we have the cost of them breaking down. I mean, I have seen the train, this particular train, break down twice. I had to cover. So, I mean, if it happens like that.
A brand new car can also break down. I know that as a scientist. A brand new car, a brand new airport failed in the United States. A brand new airport, Gatwick, once failed completely. And anything that is electromechanical can fail. When it breaks down and we can't get it back, those are the issues. When we don't do proper maintenance, those are the issues. What I am assuring you is that if it breaks down, and it breaks down because it is fatigue, that's what you are seeing mostly. When these 2 locals or 3 locals have to be the one running 7 days in a week, you cannot rule out breakdown. That is why we are bringing up all the old ones that are available too. We will fix them so that we can have enough redundancy. That will reduce the possibility of breaking down or may even eliminate it. So our work is to make sure they don't break down. And if they break down, we'll get it back on the road within the shortest possible time.
Thank you.